Hi everyone, it's Killshot 999 Gaming. This is Played It Live Crypt. We've got VOX, we got ARC, and we got a classic for you guys tonight. The top two teams in the league are doing battle. I promised you guys, I said, look, holidays are over. We're getting back into full swing. How many of you guys are excited to get Faction Wars back? I mean, we had an epic contest the other night. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we got super chats in the house. I want to say thanks to all of you guys. We got Valar super chatting it up. Hello, 999 Army Kills Great Mods. Channel members, sponsors, PDL. We got the Kills game, Death Drop, Pet Battles, which is coming up this Saturday. We got the Crypt, and Valar's going to get the little 999 logo. Thank you so much, Valar. Appreciate you and all of you guys for being here tonight. So we got to get down to business and talk about some stuff. So the other night, we had a classic. We had Sly storming into town. You know, they're taking on Jet. Jet's kind of brand new chemistry, hadn't really figured it out yet, but they had a strategy. They went Grendel. They were the home team. They were doing some things, but it still went down to the wire. It was super, super close. It was within 100 points. Would you guys call that game crazy? Would you call it insane? Would you call it nuts? Or would you call it, you know what? I think we got to have a brand new word for that game the other night. I think it was called wackadoodle. That game was absolutely wackadoodle. It had madness. It had a little bit of everything. So that is really what Played It Live Faction Wars is all about. It was completely wackadoodle. All right, let's talk about the standings. Take a look at the standings real quick. We got ARC at 6-1. We got VOX at 5-3. As I said, the top two teams. VOX actually has a better point differential, but they played one more game. Sly was trying to move up the ranks, and Jet said, nope, we're right behind you. So all teams super, super competitive right now. And you can see the schedule for the next couple weeks. We've got tonight, VOX at ARC. Monday night, we got VOX at Sly. VOX back-to-back road games. Then we got ARC traveling to Jet. It's a tough place to play, apparently, because Jet is hot. And in the following week, we get that makeup game, which is ARC versus Sly. And that Wednesday night, we will have Ship Strike, everybody. Ship Strike will be back. So you guys know we like to do this little thing before we get into the match. So you got to know what the sliver sacrifice are going to be. Let me also tell you, tonight is the first time both teams have mythic slivers. VOX and ARC are each starting out with 20 points of their slivers. So the sliver sacrifice is a big deal. So let's go ahead and spin this wheel. And we're going to find out what type of grenades are going to need to be sacrificed. We like to do this a little bit early in case you need to trade them or panic. If something comes up, it's like, oh my God, we don't have any of those. You better start your trading before the match starts. So here we go. We're going to spin this wheel and see what tonight's sacrifice is going to be. Everybody's watching. Everybody's clutching their grenade. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. The big daddy of them all. Spade grenades. Spade grenades. I don't know. There's a whole lot of them out there. You better check your inventory and get them divvied up. And that is the most powerful grenade in the game. So tonight, use your spade grenades sparingly. Woo! You never know. You never know what the wheel is going to bring. All right, we got a couple more things to get down to business. And we are going to, you guys want to do the bundle or you want to do the money tree? Which one should we do? I mean, we just did a spinner. So I think let's do the money tree. Let's do the money tree. Ron, what time is it? Tell him, Father Ron. It's time to give away some kills tokens. I know that. It is spin time, baby. All right, we're going to take you to the money tree. Way this works, we got all of y'all's names up here because you guys make your donation to the money tree. 10 kills tokens a week come out of your account. And we haven't done one of these in a couple weeks. So now that we're doing back-to-back faction wars, we get to spin this wheel. All right, so you don't need to do anything special. You just need to sit back and hope that your name comes up. All right, here we go. Spin this wheel. It is going to be player Gemstone. Gemstone. I don't know if Jim's ever won the money tree. So, Gemstone winning 250 KTs. Getting on the board. And I think that might be her first win ever. So, congratulations, Gemstone with Team Arc. Everybody's got a shot at this. All right. Now that we've seen the money tree, and we will have another money tree next week, let's take a look at tonight's Epic War Bundle with some amazing gear and a lot of stuff by request. So I'm going to take you to tonight's Epic War Bundle, and you know what? I don't know. Why don't y'all get crazy, make a little noise. Y'all make a little noise, we might do something a little extra. And Dime's got to pay attention, because we do something extra, then she's got to enter that into your bundle tomorrow morning. All right, that's noise-worthy, right? I see a little bit of 999s in there. Okay, we'll go with it. All right, I tell you what, we're just going to start out. I'm going to double this silver bundle right out of the gate. So I'm going to give you 2 extreme, 2 steel, 2 seal smoke, 2 quad XP. Now, why is quad XP important? One, we're going to do a level up event this Friday, but you might be saying, okay, well, I haven't done Friday night PvE in a while. Maybe you haven't. But did you know that you can get PvE experience for fish strike events? So all those fish strike events y'all have been doing, you've been accumulating experience points for that as well, because you're raiding the castle basically of some pretty bad dudes. So you do get XP for that, and it's worth it. All right, so we're going to give you, as I said, 2 seal, 2 quad XP, 5 post-battle pet revives. So that means you're going to be getting 10 total, because you're getting 2, so dimes, that'll be 10. 2 graphene, 2 carbine, and you'll get 2 of each of your waxes after that's doubled. How's that for a start? Double silver right out of the gates. Then we'll give you red summon skins, Thrill Smoke by request. Inferno is 2 Infernos. Frantic 5, Savage 6, Mag 7. I think I'm going to do something crazy here. I am also going to give you a double bottom bonus to go with that. That means you're getting 2 Super 8s, 2 Hostile 9s, 2 Super Thrill. I'm going to give you 2 Terror 10s. Then you get 2 Cruel Blue, Encase, 2 Cruel Red, Smolder, and at bottom, Go Grenades are super rare. So Go Grenades are usually only 1. But because you got a double bottom bonus, you're going to get 2 Mirror Smokes, 2 Go Grenades, and the best glyph in the game, you get 2 Mystical Glyphs. How about that? And also, we got I have lost my mind, right? I've gone straight wackadoodle. But we're also going to give you 2 buff steel, because we got a pet battle. Now, if you're getting tonight's bundle and you don't play a lot of pet battles, I'm going to give you a word of advice. Sell these buff steels in the auction house, because people need them. They need them to compete. So you might be saying, okay, I haven't played one in a while. Sell your buff stealers on the auction house. Take you over to the green bundle. Dust Smoke, Base Orb, Arc Spark. Sparks are only 1. So, I mean, these are singular. Max Seal Smoke, Crit Hit Potion, Arc Smoke. But normally those sparks are 1, but because it's double bottom bonus, that's 2 Max Sparks, 2 Sacred Tea, and 2 Rage Tonics. And I don't normally do this, but dimes, we're also going to give them 2 standard recipes, okay? 2 standard recipes in tonight's bundle. Mythic Summon Skin, Colossal Skin, 1 Spade Grenade. Now, I did not plan it this way. I know it looks a little shady. People are like, well, wait a minute. That wheel, Spade Grenade just showed up. We get a spade. Look, I have no control over that wheel. But there is a Spade Grenade in your bundle. So, if you have tonight's bundle, You will be able to sacrifice that if you need it. So that kind of worked out well for you guys. All right. And brand new gear. It's beautiful, isn't it? Look at this gear. Look at that belt. Best stats we've ever rolled out after the compression is H22, D15, base 15, AP 12, and yes, we are keeping max absorb in the gear. I debated changing it up, but max absorb is pretty important. So we are going to leave that in tonight's gear. I think you'll be pleased with that. And you do get the PvP gem as well. All right, Kel, let's see who loaded up with this bundle. And you know what? We have not done a lot of faction wars, and we've not sold a lot of bundles because of that. So there's been a less of a focus on your gear. Well, tonight, you can see we got back-to-back bundles. You're able to kind of get your gear leveled up, get your gear powerful again, and use it for the upcoming events. Faction wars and PvP gear is really the lifeblood of Play Dead Live. Right? Right, Pope? I agree. Pope's like, dang, talk about a steal. And the one thing I'll say is never get caught without gear, because we've got some epic weapons in the game. And, I mean, you don't have gear, those weapons will decimate you. So we got the Assassin. So, hey, make sure you know this, because you need to see who's rocking this gear. We got the Assassin. We got Ron. We got Busy. We got Dimes. We got Valar, Dr. Die, Justice, Craven, Jim, Crimson, Lexicon, Bones, Dow, Cat, Football, Pope, Flyrod, Trigger, Nightshade, and Kel. And you also need the gear to use the abilities. You don't have gear, you don't have some of these epic abilities like Expose, like Cease, like Mass Destruction, like Max Absorb. All right, you know what? We're actually on time tonight, and these two teams play fast. So one thing about VOX and ARC is that their captains are super, super quick. So now that you see who's got the gear, now you see the standings, you see all the cool stuff that we're doing. We do have to get to tonight's pre-match buffs. If you are Father Ron, Cat, Crimson, Nightshade, Valar, Pope, Julia, and Dow, give me your pre-match buffs. Those are your starting 8 right there. All right, we got Father Ron, we got Crimson, we got Julia, we got Pope, we got Valar, we got Nightshade, all we need is Dow's buffs because we got Popes. There we go. All right. All buffs are in. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take you down to the field because we're going to start exactly on time. So tonight's starting lineup is as follows. We got leading off, going for the home team, Pope, who will be in the tank zone. Pope will be followed by Nightshade. Nightshade in the DZ. Nightshade will be followed by the Assassin. The Assassin is sieging, also the captain. Julia followed by Crimson Tide. Crimson in the tank zone. Crimson Tide will be followed by Valar. Valar is the sniper from the bomber zone. Valar is going to be followed by the messenger of the Lord, Father Ron. He's the sniper. He's the captain. He's sieging. He does it all. Father Ron followed by Mr. Freeze, a.k.a. Dow in the DZ. And Dow will be followed by the one, the only, Cat in the rover zone. Everybody take a deep breath. We're going to have a lot of fun. Remember, timers cannot be challenged. I would refresh often if you need to. So if you feel like you're lagging a little bit, just hit a F5. And we are underway. Pope, you're on the clock. 20-second timer starts now. Pope beats the timer easily and has a move that looks like a long, long move. Boss to Main Street, jump in the tank. All right, let's go boss in 1. We'll cap in 3. Pope jumping in the tank. Let's give Pope a cannonball. Getting on the scoreboard early after he jumps in the tank. Going to play Negation Wand to get rid of Cat's Raise Wand. That's going to take air wands off the board. So Cat, no Raise Wand for you. Seal and Thrill, M7 Rapture loaded to the wall. Mass Destruction 8. And Pope, actually, if you can put Sacrifice Spade on a separate line so the inventory team knows exactly what you're doing. All right. Father Ron says, wait. Nightshade is going to intervene. All right. So let's move Pope up to the temple steps. Right there. We're going to slow Crimson down so she is max sparked 1 time. And Nightshade using the intervene. Real quick recap. Boss went to Main Street. He got in the tank, went to the temple. Negation Wand. You see what it does. Seal and Thrill, M7 Rapture loaded to the wall. And sacrificing a spade grenade. So we need to take that little halo and put it up over the sliver. All right. Let's go to Nightshade. Nightshade, you're on the clock. 20-second timer. All right, Nightshade beats the timer easily. And we'll see what Nightshade had in store. Lost so well. Now that is something we have not seen in a minute. So going to play it on the enemy's boss, which is the one on Main Street. So put that there just so there's a reminder that there's a soul well if it caps. And it's 25% of that cap. And any Kangs that may happen to be there. A little bit of sneakiness there. DZ Portal, boss to the side chest with a seal. So DZ Portal over here with Dow. Boss to this side chest. So playing boss in 1 would cap in 3. Max Spark Julia. We're going to put that Max Spark there, and we're going to put a different symbol up there for the soul well. We'll put X above that so we know what's up. Rage Milo to the Watchtower with Sliver ability and sacrifice a spade. All right, Sliver ability is going to pump that VOX Sliver up to 25. We'll go ahead and light that first Watchtower. Also give them a Milo. A lot of good stuff to like in that attack. All right. Soulwell, Portal, Boss, Seal, Max Spark, Rage Milo. All we need to do is give that man his seal, and we're good to go. All right. Let's go over to the Assassin, Julia. 20-second timer starts now. Jump into Rover. To the DZ. All right, Julia jumping into Rover, going to the DZ. And she is no longer max sparked. But she is slowed this move. All right, so take her over to her own DZ. All right, because she is slowed, Rover's good, Pet's good. Julia, you get no seal. No seal because you're slowed. You do get the absorption. But the max spark slowed you down. The second max spark on Crimson, she sly shawled out of it. She is invisible, cannot be targeted. Mythic Needle to the haystack with a Sleet Wand. Ice Wands are out of play. Let's go ahead and freeze that top block. Ooh. Ouch. Ouch. Oh my goodness. That was a nice Titan move right there. Okay. So, Nightshade playing Diabolical Titan, which is going to change Julia's specialty grenade from a sweet tea to a spade, which means it does not put out the Temple Flame. It just hits and it fizzles. All right, let's give Julia the Mythic Needle to the haystack. All right, Julia playing Needle in 1 with Cap in 2. By the way, you guys liking Titans? Because I heard there's a box event coming up next week. All right, get into Rover. Move to the DZ. Julia gets a tire. Going to play Zysis on Ron. So, Ron, you have no action to use later. Plays Absorption's good. Throws a sweet tea at the temple. It fizzles. Max Spark Crimson. She sly shaws out of it, and the MD8 goes through. We got a little trickeration going on here. All right, let's go over to Crimson. 20-second timer starts right now. Crimson easily beats the timer. She's going to jump into the tank. All right, let's give Crimson a cannonball. Move to Temple Stairs. Immortal Grendel to the haystack. All right, we got 2 Grendels in play. I'm sorry, we got a Needle on one side and a Grendel on the other side. So she's playing Immortal Grendel, so that means Art cannot play another Needle until they get rid of Grendel. Drop a seal. E3 Snowstorm to the wall. Sacrifice Spade with Sliver ability. Okay, a couple things are going to happen. The tank move is good. The stairs are good. Grendel's good. She gets her seal. That's good. E3 Snowstorm to the wall and sacrifice a Spade. All right, so sacrifice Spade goes through. Now, the Snowstorm's going to have no effect because the Sleet Wand already froze the wall. They halt 4 times, which doesn't matter because the Snowstorm is just going to break the seal. Okay? So grenade that breaks a seal and halts that really serve no purpose. All right, let's go over to Villar. Villar, 20-second timer starts now. Timer is up. Beats the nerf timer, did not beat the regular timer. Villar, move to the sniper zone. Wicked Boss and a Holy Avenger to the wall. All right, so let's move her up to the sniper zone. Villar going to play Wicked Boss, which means that could be a minus 50. To the Vox Boss. Holy Avenger to the wall. So no negative effects can be put on Ark's wall. Seal and Thrill. Steel Ron's Needle. Maximon M7 to the wall with MD 8. MD's up 24. Ron says wait. Movement's good. Wicked Boss is good. Legendary is good. Seal and Thrill is good. So it is going to be the equivalent to a S8. Ron says it doesn't matter what it is because I'm going to gold blue it. Ron using the first blue of the game. And the gold from the gold blue will get rid of Villar's. Okay. Villar uses max absorption. Probably wasted it because she had a gear absorption that would have eaten that up, but she burns the max absorption. All right, let's go over to Father Ron. 20-second timer, Ron. We got Ron, Dow, and Cat. Ron, I just knew there was going to be MBS Sweetie. I was waiting for you to type that. All right, Father Ron, Vines to Pope. Turn Pope into an engineer. Going to play Culver. Move to the sniper zone. Snowstorm to the wall with MD8. All right. Julia says it hits. And it will award 5 points to each enemy that is not currently sealed and will dissolve a seal of one enemy player. All right. So, Pope has a seal. Ron, whose seal do you want to dissolve? Pope or Villar? Well, never mind. Vine's got the Pope, so it's going to be Villar. Okay, I got it. Now I see the move. Smart move. All right. Vine's going to get rid of Pope's seal. Villar's the only person with a seal. Pope is also at 90%. Actually, Scratch that. All right, I need to go back one more move, Ron. Okay, so Pope has absorption for his gear. So Vines is going to get rid of Pope's absorption. So, Ron, whose seal do you want to disintegrate with Culver? Valar or Pope? All right, so they are going to get rid of Pope's seal. Now, Culver is going to give Vox 5 points for each person that's not sealed. Valar will keep hers. So that's going to be 15 points for Culver. Instant. Now, the F5 snowstorm hits, but it's not going to have an effect because Valar played Holy Avenger on her wall. So it's just basically going to be damage, and then snowstorm is pointless. So let's calculate this damage with the mass destruction. Ron taking out a black block and a green block. Black and a green for Father Ron. All right, let's go over to Dow. Dow, 20-second timer starts right now. Dow beats the timer. DZ portal. Needle to the haystack. All right, Dow heading over to the other side. Now he plays needle to the haystack. Crimson's Grendel is going to devour it. So Dow gets no needle, and Crimson Grendel is off the board. Easily gets rid of that scoring pet. Navy to the Temple Flame, mass destruction. Looking like 32. Seal Smoke. Gold Spark to Cat. And Ron says, we're going to let it hit. Portal's good. Needle's gone. Navy to the Temple Flame. All right, let's get rid of that one. It's right there in front of Pope. All right, final move of round one. Let's go to Cat. 20-second timer. Timer's up. Did not beat the timer. Did beat the nerf timer. Rover, move to the DZ. Needle to the haystack. All right, Cat moving down to the DZ. Let's give Cat a tire. Needle to the haystack is good. Cat playing needle in 1, cap in 2. Seal absorb, sweet tea to the temple. And sliver ability. Julia hits her weight. Julie's going to intervene the grenade. All right, intervene the grenade. keep from putting out the flame. Rover's good. Movement's good. Needle is good. Seal Absorb is good. Sweet Tea is no good. And that is the final move of the round. It is intervened. All right, at the end of the round, Crimson cannot rotate into the temple. Pope can. Let's give a blessing to Pope. Strawman, 0-0. We got each team with a player in the DZ and each enemy in the DZ. So we actually have 0-0. Dow with a halo. Cat with a halo. Nightshade with a halo. And Julia with a halo. Slivers. Arc, 20 points. VOX, 35 points. At the end of the round, let's get rid of one ring and one ring. All right, let's go to round number 2, Pope. 20-second timer, you're on the clock. Timer's up. Did not beat the timer. Colossal Kang to the boss on Main Street. $25% of that cap will go to VOX if it does cap. Which would be another 18 points for the Soul Well if it caps. S8 Thrill, Summoning Grenade to the wall, Amp 3, Cluster F, and Gold Spark, Cat again. We'll leave her Gold Sparked from the last round. Cat going to prevent the Summoning Grenade. So the Thrill, the S8, will not matter. The Amp 3 will. Each one of these is worth 3. So amping up the wall. All right, let's go over to Nightshade. 20-second timer for Nightshade. Timer's up. Nerf timer is up. This is for a 25-point penalty. Second timer is up. This is for a 50. Okay, does beat the Nerf. Needle to the haystack. Torment Julia. E2 St. Milo to the watchtower with MD8. All right, needle to the haystack. 3 haystacks are occupied. Nightshade playing needle in 2. We cap in 3. Torment to Julia. And let's light the watchtower with another Milo. All right, let's go over to Julia. 20-second timer starts right now. Beats the timer. Gonna move to the rover zone. Colossal Kang to Pope's Boss. Be another 18 for Solwell if it caps. Drop Seal. Going to Euclid Crimson. Now that she's played the Sly Shawl. Going to turn Crimson into a boss. Rage Tonic, Rapture loaded to the wall with Amp 3 and sacrifice a Spade. All right, she'll no longer be tormented after this move, but it will go into effect this move. She does have Amp 6 on the wall. Rapture with Tonic makes the E1 Rapture with Mass Destruction. You get the bare minimum and take out a black block, but the Rapture will give you a teardrop for later on. Movement's good, Kang's good, Seal is good, Euclid is good, Rage, Tonic, Rapture with Amp, all good. All right, we skip Crimson. She's Euclid, and we go to Valar. 20-second timer, Valar from the sniper zone. Valar easily beats the timer this time around. Colossal Kang to Pope's Boss. So it's the third Colossal Kang we have. Pet Repel, Gold Spark to Ron. Cat and Ron, both Gold Sparked. Grizzly to the wall, Amp 3. Sacrifice a Spade to the Sliver. Nine Amp on the wall. Sacrifice another Spade Grenade. S6 Grizzly with her Sniper Buff from the Sniper Zone. And Mass Destruction. Green block, and 60% of a blue block, 40 blue remaining. All right, let's go over to Ron. Ron, you were on the clock. You got 20 seconds. All right, sweetie. Ron says, let's go to the MBS and dance. Flag, sweetie. All right. Ron was even gold sparked. Villar, you might have been able to take him. I mean, he was mini Ron. She's like, I don't even want to deal with half of Ron. All right, Ron getting the white flag. Ron getting the MBS. And Ron getting a ruffled feather. All right, we will see Ron. In round 4. And she gonna dominari Ron. Really? All right. You want to take his ruffled feather or his white flag? They're the same points, but it's just principle. Feather or flag? She's taking your ruffled feather, Ron. All right, no feather for Ron. All right, let's go over to 1 second. All right, couple things. Julia's needle capped this round. So Ark got the first needle. All right, let's go to Dow, 20-second timer. Timer's up. Did not beat the timer, but he did beat the nerf timer. Dow's going to DZ portal. Back to his side of the map. Kang to Pope's boss. It's a mythic Kang. Could be worth 63. Summoning grenade to the watchtower with amp. That wall is now amp 12. Ron says wait. Portal's good. Kang's good. Summoning grenade. Gold blue from Cat. The gold from the gold blue. Break Dow seal. He's going to use max absorb to keep his seal. All right, and before Cat's turn, we're going to cap Cat's Needle. Put Vox on the board. And 20-second timer. All right, beats the timer. Cat going to voyage Pope. Knock him out of the temple. That's going to give Cat a wave award. Colossal Kang. And Dust Smoke to Julia. That Voyage gets rid of the Catapult. Colossal Kang could be worth 73 if that boss caps. So we got Voyage, Kang, Dust, Milo to the Watchtower, sacrifice a Spade, and Mass Destruction. All right, Watchtower is going to light Watchtower number 3. Let's get some more Milo points. Sacrifice the Spade, and that will be the 4th blessing temporarily. I'm not going to put it up there because I'm just going to remove it, but there is 4 up there at the moment. All right, that is the end of round number 2. Captains, give me your sub. So this invisible blessing up here, we would remove it. See, there's 3 up there. There would be 4, so we would remove it. So we're going to leave 3. On the other side, we're going to remove one of theirs. So slivers are 3 to 3. We're going to move Crimson into the temple. Able to steal that temple spot from Pope. Strawman 0-0. DZ. We've got Vox 25. Arc 0. Cat with a halo. Dow with a halo. Nightshade with a second halo. And Cat also earning Devil Horns for Father Ron. He'll have them when he comes out. Captains, give me your subs. Thank you. All right, we've got, yes, she does still move in. She's a Euclid, but same thing as Euclid in a DZ would occupy the DZ. All right, we've got 35 points for Vox, Sliver. 20 points for Arc, Sliver. Let's get these subs in there. Pope heading out. Shaman coming in. Nightshade. Heading out. Trigger heading in. All right, your order is as follows. Shaman, Trigger, Julia, Crimson, Valar, Ron, who will skip, Dow, and Cat. All right, before Shaman's turn, we're going to cap $282 points in Kangs. For Team Arc, 282. Now, VOX got 67, 18, 18, 18, and 16 for that as well. All right, let's go over to Shaman. 20-second timer, Sheila. Great job tonight, Shade, tonight, too. Absolutely. Good to see the lineups mixed up and getting players involved. Beats the timer. Sheila going boss to Main Street. Boss in 3 with cap in 5. Cyborg Slim Shady. No lingering smokes, all healing effects, cut in half. Sheila going to move to the temple steps. Can't get in the temple. Banish wand to Julia. She cannot be launched or knocked back. Max Spark to Cat. Slow her down. Seal and Thrill. H9 Spade Grenade to the wall with MD8, and they're going to Judas that Julia. And sacrifice a Spade Grenade to add a 4th ring. Boss to Main Street's good. Cyborg is good. Movement to the Temple Steps is good. Banish Wand is good. Max Spark, Seal and Thrill. And Shaman with the tank prevention. All right, before Trigger's turn, a couple things are going to happen. All right, we got a 73-point Kang for VOX. We're going to cap their boss. We're also going to cap that needle. Second needle on the board for Team VOX. All right, now we go to Trigger with a 20-second timer. Starts now. Trigger beats the timer. And DZ Portal over to the other side with Dow. Steel Needle from the Shaman. No need for the Shaman. Dark Boss to their chest with a seal. Trigger playing Dark Boss in 3 with cap in 5. Could be worth a bonus 25. Rage St. Milo to the Watchtower, Sliver ability, and sacrifice a spade. It's a 4th ring on top of a sliver. Going to pump the VOX sliver up to 40 points. Portal's good. Steel is good. Dark Boss is good. Milo with a Watchtower shot needs to be added, and everything else has been added. So that is going to be Watchtower number 4. All right, let's go over to Julia. 20-second timer from the Rover Zone. She's going to move to the tank zone. Going to play Immortal Grendel. Like that's enough needles up there. All right, Julia playing Emo Grendel. Going to play Arc Ice. Could nerf the wall. Doesn't freeze it yet. M7 Summoning Grenade to the wall with Sliver ability. Pump the Arc Sliver up to 25. Ron, you got a Summoning Grenade going to the wall. Could potentially bring out an Orbital. Ron says wait. Crimson will be back shortly. So it'll be Crimson, Valar, we'll skip Ron, and then Dow. Gold Sonar from Cat. Ron going to nerf it a little bit. All right, they got 40 mass destruction. 15 will be 25 MD added to it. So Julie, you're going to bring out a Colossal Orbital. $32-point Orbital, possible. Sorry, 25-point Orbital, not 32. 25 is the Orbital. Need to check my points, but we got it. All right, if it caps. So we got move to the tank zone, Immortal Grendel, Arc Ice, M7 Summoning Grenade. That is going to be nerfed. So I'll make it an M5 Summoning Grenade with Mass Destruction. Julie, you're going to play Chromica. And let's get the wall damage. We've got 40% blue. We'll take out the 40% blue. And we'll take out 80% blue, which means we got 20% of the next blue. So 1.2 blue blocks remaining. All right, Crimson Tide is back. 20-second timer from the Temple Crimson. Colossal Kang to their boss with a pet repel. E4 Maximon to the wall with Mass Destruction 8. All right, let's get that Colossal Kang. That could be worth 73 if it caps. All right, and because the E4 Maximon hits, it dissipates the Arc Ice. A second one would have given it an absorption, but if you hit it when there's just the smoke there, it goes away. Crimson with Chromica. And E4 Maximon damage after Mass Destruction. Green block, 85% of a blue block, 15 blue remaining. So 2.15 blue on one side, 1.2 on the other side. All right, we got back-to-back turns. We got Valar and Dow. For Valar's turn, we're going to cap Valar's boss. It is a wicked boss. Flag number 2. And 20-second timer for Valar. Valar beats the timer. Red needle to the haystack. All right, and that is Julia's Grendel, so that needle is free to pass. So Valar playing needle. In 3 with cap in 4. Arc Ice to their wall. The last one dissipated, so they're playing a new one. Max Spark to Cat. That is the second Max Spark, so Cat will not be moving. She cannot be stunned again the rest of the game. F5 Grizzly to the wall and pet score. There was no pet score that capped. Because there was no Kang that capped. So save the pet score, because boss is not a scoring pet. All the Kangs capped on the main boss. So Red Needle is good. You still have your pet score left. Arc Ice, Max Spark the Cat, and F5 Grizzly loaded to the wall. All right, let's see how that Grizzly does. Blue block. Blue block. Teardrop works. And 10% of a red block. You got 90 red remaining, which is 2.9. You cannot use another ability. You can. I'm just messing with you. You didn't have a valid target. Which other ability would you like to use? I'm joking, Villar. It doesn't fizzle because you didn't have a valid target. So which ability would you like to use? All right, going to pump the Sliver ability, which is going to pump it up to 30. All right, she already had a ability locked in. Because there was no valid target, she does get to play a second ability. That's why it didn't fizzle. Had she not played an ability, then we would not have given her the opportunity to do that. All right, we skip Ron. Ron will be back in round 4. And we go to Dow. Dow, 20-second timer starts right now. Beats the timer. Dow going to play boss to their chest. Played in 3. We cap in 5. Summoning Grenade to the Watchtower. Expose ability to the wall. And drop Fierce Smoke on trigger. All right. Dow playing Expose on the wall. That means this wall is going to take 10% more damage. First time we've seen Expose. Now, we'll only be on this wall. When this one goes down, it won't be on the next wall and the next wall. But it will take 10% additional damage. So, Ron, you got an E4 Summoning Grenade to the Watchtower and a Fierce Smoke to trigger. Hits or wait? All right, it hits. We're going to Fear trigger over here. Dow, what color's your Watcher? We're going to light Watchtower number 1. No such thing. Can you double check it and make sure it's Colossal? All right, Colossal Watcher. Ron, you got a Watcher on your Watchtower. It's 25-point Colossal Watcher. All right. Boss is good. E4 Summoning Grenade, Expose Ability, and Drop Fear Smoke. All good. And the final move of round 3 is a person that can't move. Cat. 20-second timer. She gets a move, but she can't move. Timer is up. Did not beat the timer. Talon Trigger back to the DZ. Pink Smoke, E2 Summoning Grenade to the Watchtower, and cease Valar. All right, Valar, you will get one more ability your next turn, and after that, you will have no abilities. Cat has no abilities. Julia, hits or wait? It hits. All right. There is a watcher on the Watchtower, and Cat did not pay the rent due. She had to pay at least an F5, which she did not. So that Summoning Grenade is going to fizzle. Talon is good. Pink Smoke will be there. All right. And that is the end of round number 3. At the end of round number 3, Crimson Tide getting a second blessing. Strawman, 0-0. DZ, 25 Vox, 0 Arc. Cat with a halo. Dow with a halo. Trigger with a halo. Cat getting devil horns for Ron again. Ron will come out of the temple with 2 devil horns. Cat is no longer max sparked. Sliver, Arc, 30 points. Vox, 40 points. All right, let's go to round number 4. Shaman. 20-second timer. Beats the timer. Shaman, Mythic Kang to her boss. Could be worth 63. Gold Spark Ron, he cannot be targeted because he's still in the portal until his turn. You can redirect the Gold Spark to another person. Arc Ice to their wall. It is now an absorption. So that block will take less damage, 20% less. Maximon loaded to the wall and amp 3. Gold Spark to Crimson. All right, Mythic Kang, Gold Spark to Crimson, Arc Ice, S8 Maximon loaded to the wall with amp 3. Ron says wait. Mythic Dark Blue from Crimson. Mythic Dark Blue will break Shaman Seal. And the next grenade will be nerfed. We go to the DZ and trigger. 20-second timer for you. Trigger beats the timer easily. Colossal Kang to her boss and Torment to Valar. Colossal Kang could be worth 73. S8 Summoning Grenade to the Watchtower with MD8. This one does hit, so they're going to light the Watchtower. Trigger, what color Watcher are you summoning? So what level is your Watcher? Kang's good, Torment's good, Summoning Grenade is good, and we just need to know how many upgrades she has. All right, we'll give her another couple seconds. Otherwise, it is going to be a regular Watcher. I'll tell you in a second. It is a gold Watcher. All right, Trigger has a gold Watcher, which is worth 15 points. All right, let's go over to Julia. 20-second timer, Julia. Beats the timer. Julia going to move down to the bomber zone. Colossal Orbital. S8 Unicorn, Zulu loaded to the wall with pet score. Crimson going to prevent it. All right, movement's good, pet's good, Unicorn, Zulu, and pet score. All right, Crimson from the Temple and Gold Spark, 20-second timer. We have Crimson, Valar, Ron, Dal, and Cat. Timer is up. Did not beat the timer, did beat the nerf timer. Mythic Gideon, F5 summoning grenade to the watchtower with pet score. Mythic Gideon is a -28 for Arc. And she's playing pet score on that, so it's going to make it a -38. Summoning grenade hits. Gonna light watchtower number 6. And Crimson, what color is your watcher? All right, Mythic Watcher going in play. All right. Points for the Watcher, F5 summoning grenade with pet score. And a Mythic Watcher is going to add another 20. So there are 6 lit up. So the next one will light the one on the bottom one. I'm not going to remove it just in case there's any action or activity on those, but there are 6 lit. So the 7th one would be on the bottom. All right, before Valar's turn, we're going to cap Valar's needle. Needles are now 2-2. And Valar, 20-second timer to you. Beats the timer. Villar going to go Colossal Gideon with pet score. That'd be a minus 48 after pet score. Max Seal to Sheila. Summoning Grenade, Gold Orbital, Rage Tonic. I do not need a target called on this grenade because she said Gold Orbital. So the assumption is she's hitting the wall. Had she not put her pet in there, she would have had a targeting penalty. But it's pretty obvious she's hitting the wall if she puts Gold Orbital. All right, Colossal Gideon, Max Seal, Summoning Grenade to the wall, and pet score, Ron says it hits. Gold Orbital could be worth 19. And that is 2.9 after the mass destruction and the bonus from the expose. Villar taking out 90% of a red block. There are still 2 blocks remaining. All right, welcome back, Ron, out of the portal. 20-second timer for Ron. Beats the timer. We'll add Villar's Intaglio. So Intaglio is out of play. So that wall is now 1.5 red. 1.5 red after Intaglio. Stay in a sniper zone. Colossal Wicked Kang to the boss. Could be a 73-point Kang for Ron. Now it's going to send Sheila's Kang back to her hand. So we'll bounce that back to the Shaman. Dropping a seal. S7 Goliath to the wall. Sacrifice a spade and sliver pump to 45. And remember, Ron has 2 devil horns, so he's adding 50% damage to his attack. All right, staying in the zone. Colossal Wicked Kang. Seal. S7 Goliath to the wall. Now Ron gets a bonus from being in a sniper zone. There is an absorption on that wall, so his sniper bonus will pretty much take out this absorption and give him a 5-point bonus. They have 40 mass destruction and 50% bonus to Ron's grenade attack. That's going to make that Goliath equivalent to a little more than a spade grenade. All right, fights through the absorption. 15% blue. Take out the 15%. Blue block, and 20%. Ron, 80 red remaining. So we got VOX with 3.8 red. We got ARC with 1.5 red. All right, let's go over to Dow. 20-second timer, Dow. Beats the timer. Dow going to play Kruger to the Watchtower. Vines to trigger. BT7 to trigger, and he's going to use the sliver ability to pump his sliver up to 35. So, Ron, you got a Kruger, a Vines, and a BT7. Ron says, wait. Going to prevent the Vines. All right, Kruger is going to go through. So Kruger is going to unlight Watchtower number 6. Going to prevent the Vines, which means the BT7 is going to break trigger seal. All right, and the final move of the first half is going to be Cat. 20-second timer to Cat. Beat the timer. Cyborg Fly, Julia and Dow. Kruger. Dragon Smoke. I don't think there are any Dragon Stones that are unlit. Or is there? There should not be any Dragon Stones unlit, so that'll fizzle out. I think Julia was in her own DZ, Ron. I think Dow was in your DZ, and Julia has been in her DZ, the Rover, and then the Tank Zone. I mean, yeah. They just used the Dragon Smoke. So Julia's going to be moved out of the Bomber Zone to the No Zone. They're going to eclipse Dow, Kruger, which will unlight the watchtower. All right. Cyborg Fly on Julian Dow. They're going to eclipse Dow. Doesn't affect him. It does move Julie out of the bomber zone. Kruger is good. Dragon Smoke fizzles, and F5 Summoning Grenade to the watchtower hits. All right, and Kat, what color is your watcher? All right, Mythic Watcher, so they have watchers on all 3 of the watchtowers. And that is the end of round number 1. At the end, let's, captains, give me your second half subs. Crimson with another blessing. Strawman, 0-0. Vox almost got the avalanche, but not quite. They still get 25 points to 0. Ron, get some angel wings, too. Sliver, 45 to 35. Halo, Cat with a 4th. Trigger with a 2nd. Dow with a 4th. All right. Cat losing her seal, elevation. Dow losing your seal, elevation. Die coming in for trigger. Sir Tim going to the ozone. Everybody set back up. All right, Vox looking pretty good with their lineup. Shaman heading out. All right, over on the Arc side, we've got Poke for Shaman, Skylight in the ozone. So Pope coming back in. Lingering smokes are gone. All right, looks like we got a solid lineup. We got 2 rounds to go. And the lineup is going to be as follows. It'll be Pope, Doc, Julia, Crimson, Valar, Ron, Dow, Cat, Skylight, and Sir Tim. Before Pope's turn, we're going to cap Shaman's Boss. There's no Kang on it because Ron bounced it. But boss number 3 is going to cap. 20-second timer starts now for the Pope. Beats the timer. Pope going to move into the temple. Needle to the haystack with a seal. Pope playing needle. In 5, capping 6. M7 summoning loaded to the wall with expose and glacier the wall. All right. M7 summoning to the wall with expose. So that wall's now been double exposed. Glacier is going to freeze it. Dow is going to invoke it. Dr. Dye is going to double evoke it. All right. Are we done? Invoke again. Okay. Now, keep in mind, there's only 1.5 red blocks. So the invoke and the evokes are going to cancel. The glacier is going to freeze the wall for double damage. Plus, there's 20% bonus on that attack. Now, the summoning grenade is going to hit. The summoning grenade is going to take out the wall, even with the mythic sonar, because the wall's frozen. The orbital will not show up on the wall until after damage resolution. All right, so we'll get back to the orbital in a minute. Now, these 3 orbitals are all going to cap. The wall is no longer exposed. Pope gets a gold bar. We're going to rebuild the wall. All right, and what color is Pope's orbital? So it's a colossal orbital that if that wall caps, it'll be worth 25, potentially. All right. Before Doc's turn, we're going to cap 219 points in Kangs for VOX. We're also going to cap a boss number 2. It's 3-2. All right, Doc, you're up. 20-second timer. Timer, she does beat the timer. Just barely beat it. She's going to DZ portal to the other side with Dow. Stasis to Julia. Drop Seal, F5 St. Milo to the Watchtower. Sacrifice a Spade. And I am going to remove one of these for last round for each team. I did not remove them. In either round. All right. So they were not removed for the last 2 rounds. So that means one has 3, one has 2. Dr. Dye sacrificing one to give them a 4th ring. Going to pump up the sliver to 50. And a Milo to the Watchtower is going to light Watchtower number 7. Portal, Stasis, Seal, Milo, Sliver Ability, and Sacrifice. Let's give Dr. Dye her seal. All right, let's go to Julia. 20-second timer. Beats the timer. Julia going to move down to the bomber zone. Fly does not carry over at the end of round number 4 because all players come out of the round and then they come back into the round. When they're subbed out, because the round cannot carry over to round 5. Move to the bomber zone, Wicked Gideon. Max Seal to Sky. H9 Rapture loaded. Cosmic Panic, +3, -3 to Ron. So that's going to be a -3 hinder to Ron. Wicked Gideon will take a Gideon off the board. All right, movement's good. Gideon's good. Max Seal is good. H9 Raptor is going to make it H12. And a Plague to Crimson. No smokes, no potions. Rapture hits. Black block. Green block. Amplify and Mass Destruction. 80% of a green block. You got 20 green remaining. And it's a Rapture. So there is a Teardrop as well. Valar going to play Hemlock to remove the rest of the green block. All right, let's go over to Crimson, who is Plagued. 20-second timer, Crimson. Beats the timer. Crimson going to move to the Temple Stairs. Myers to Dow, Unforgiven to the wall, and Amp the wall. Julia hits her weight. Arc. All right, hits. Damage resolution, mass destruction. As 80 red. Going to take out the red. And 25% of the red gives you 75 red remaining. 2.75. Team VOX. Crimson is no longer plagued. All right, let's go over to Valar. 20-second timer, Valar. We got Valar, we got Ron, Dow, Cat. Next 4 to go. Beats the timer. Blar heading back up to the sniper zone. Thraxis, give her E3 next round. Red Kruger, Torment Cat, S8 Unforgiven to the wall. It hits. Red Kruger is going to unlight that watchtower. S8 Unforgiven with Mass Destruction and Amp. Blue block. Blue block. 30% of a blue block. 70 blue remaining. All right, Ron, you got a -3 hinder. And you're up. 20 seconds. Ron going to move to the sniper zone with a lot of buffs. Scold Dow, Torment Sky, Enrage St. Milo. He's going to expose the wall. Julia hits her weight. You can try to get those hits and weights in before I read it. That would help me out. It hits. All right, Scolded Dow is going to give Ron a absorption. It's going to take Dow down to 90%. Going to light Watchtower number 7. St. Milo going to light Watchtower number 8. Actually will not light Watchtower number 8 because Ron did not pay the rage. All right, when Scold hits first, it lights the 7th one. He will get the points for the Milo. But he doesn't light the Watchtower. Movement's good. Pet is good. Light the Watchtower from the pet. Milo hits, doesn't pay the rage for the Milo, but gets the points. All right, let's go over to Dow, 20-second timer. Timer's up. All right, going to release the catapult to the wall. Dow's a tank, so I think tanks are 2 turns, 3 blocks, preventable next round. Is that correct? Dow with a wave award. 2 blocks, 2 turns, and it's preventable. So that'll be next round, Ron, with the catapult. All right, let's go over to Cat. 20-second timer, Cat. Cat is tormented, and she is in the rover zone. Cat is going to move to her DZ. Skull to Dow, Seal and Thrill, Sweet Tea to the Temple Flame. All right, Dow's going to prevent the Scold. That'll give Cat still another absorption. Dow takes no damage, does not light a watchtower. Immortal Blue for the Sweet Tea. The Immortal Blue is going to take out both of those absorptions. 20 and 20. Still has her seal. All right, let's go over to Skylight. 20-second timer. Got Skylight and Sir Tim. Beats the timer. Skylight's going to jump into turret. Try to get that absorb in before they post their move, Cat. In the future. All right. Jump in turret. Max Spark, Sir Tim. Torment Dr. Die. That is correct. All right. So Cat cannot max absorb. Anyway, because of cease. All right, so let's remove them again. Turret, max spark. Torment, Dr. Die. Mom, Dr. Die to a warrior. Rage tonic, Trex grenade to the wall with MD8. Ron says it hits. Trex grenade gives you a guaranteed 2 blocks. So no benefit from the rapture. So it works like this. Blue block gone. Then it has to take out a block. And there is still a block there. Red block on. All right, and final move of round number 5. Sir Tim, you're on the clock. 20-second timer. Timer is up. All right, Sir Tim is going to get in the turret. Turn into a tank. Seal, Navy grenade to the flames with sliver ability. Sliver is up to 55. They're going to prevent the Navy. And give him a seal. The Bengals, that is an internal flame. I think 3 prevention's been used on that flame so far. Turret's good. Tim's a tank. Seal, Navy is stopped, and sliver ability. And that is the end of round number 5. We're going to go to Dragon Storm. Crimson still waiting outside the temple. Pope stakes his claim back to the temple. We've got no points for the straw man. VOX, 25, Arc 0. In the DZ, Father Ron is now the Angel of Darkness. $50 bonus points, and Ron has 100% damage boost. Sliver, 55 points for VOX. 35 points for Arc. Julia getting the bomber zone. Valar and Ron both getting bronze stars for occupying the sniper zone. Both getting 50 points for occupying the sniper zone as well. All right, final round. Let's Dragon Storm it, everybody. Both teams qualify. Let's refresh the die roll. It is E1. E1. All right. Pope, your needle caps. That is needle number 3 for Team Arc. "20-second timer, Pope. Kruger, Blue Spark. M9 Unforgiven loaded to the wall. I think Crimson has already been tormented. So that torment is going to fizzle. Summon Kruger. Kruger's going to unlight this watchtower. M9 Unforgiven hits. Sliver ability to pump it to 40. All right, Ron, can you guys confirm that she was plagued and not tormented? I thought she was tormented earlier in the game, but... All right, grenade hits. Red block, one red block remaining. All right, let's go over to Dr. Die. Doc, 20-second timer. Timer is up. Beats the nerf timer. Move in range, Warrior Rage. Super Thrill Blue Spark. Rage Tonic Spade loaded. Holy moly, Dr. Die just chose violence. However, All right. Immortal Blue, Scold to Dow. Julia, does the Scold hit? I'm saying it. Does the Scold hit? It said Orby. It spell corrected her Scold. All right, so move to range. Warrior Rage is Immortal Blued. We got the MD8. We'll give her a absorption. We're a Light Watchtower number 7. And we'll take Dow down to 80%. All right, let's go over to Julia. 20-second timer. Julia's going to Kamuri to the Ozone. Jin Shi. Torment Ron. Blue Spark, S6 Unforgiven loaded to the wall and expose the wall. All right. This is the last block, so it will expose it. You will get a gold bar. And you will rebuild the wall. But the new wall is not exposed. All right, let's go from Julia over to Crimson. 20-second timer. Skull to Dow, Unforgiven. All right, Skull to Dow is going to light Watchtower. Number 8. Take Dow down to 70%. Mortal and Gold Sonars. That'll erase the mass destruction. They have a Jin Shi, but they also have an E1. Dow playing Insomnia. Make it a S6 Unforgiven. It's 2.75. S6 Unforgiven. Good use of the sonars there. Take out the 0.75, take out one full block, and take out 25% of a block. You got 75% of a red block remaining. And we do not have time to get 2 more moves in. Timer is up. That is the time. All right. We will calculate totals. Good job to both teams. A little slow sailing in the middle. Certainly a little more rust tonight than the other night, but good strategies by both teams. Execution. We need to speed it up just a touch. It is 10:45. So give me 5 minutes, and we will get everybody's final. We got blessings as far as the wall. You can see we got 3 blocks coming down for Team VOX. Which means that wall is going to go down. It's going to be rebuilt. And we'll take down 2 more of those blocks. Over on the other side, we've got 2 blocks being taken down for Team Arc. Because we did not finish the game, there is no Siege and Occupy. No DZ points awarded at the end, so the game stops exactly where we're at. We'll calculate the PCP bonuses, and I'll give you guys the total in a few minutes. Be just a couple more minutes. We got a really, really close game, so I'll be back shortly. All right, everybody, we are back, and we have a winner, and this is the closest game that I can recall in a long, long time. So here we go. We're going to break it down. It was a couple different ways of playing the game, so I know people are going to be on pins and needles here. So we're going to start out with the flag game. Ark strong in the flag game, 750 to 450. Nice jump out to the lead. We get to the wall game. We get Ark as well. One wall advantage. They took down 2 walls. Walls were slow sailing. 615 to 315. That gives you about a 600-point lead for Team Ark. But could VOX turn the tables? MBS, Ron, 200 points. That cuts the lead to 400 points. Kane game, VOX, slightly higher, 292 to 282. But we get the needle game, Ark, 3 needles. VOX, 2 needles. 3 to 2 advantage. Watchtowers. VOX didn't quite get the last watchtower lit, but they did get 200 to 0. DZ. VOX, 100 points to 0. And timers, VOX negative 50, Ark negative 30. So after the core points, Ark with a slight lead, 1917 to 1707. Let's go to the PCP category. We had VOX, white flag, cannonball, tire, horn, another horn, wings, another wing, angel of darkness, waves. PCP DZ was split 75-75, but you had a bronze star for Ron, and you also had the sniper zone for Ron. That's a total of 400 PCP points. Go over to Team Ark. 2 gold bars, cannonball, tire, wave. 75 PCP DZ, bronze star, and sniper zone as well. That gives them a total of 325. Now that Ark lead is not quite so much. We're looking at about a 100-point Ark lead going into the final category, which was slivers, and the extra points along the way. Slivers, VOX 210, Ark 140. We've got a pretty even game at this point, but we had a negative 50 points for the Wicked Boss, but they played so well, which gave them 67 points, 18 points, 18 points, 18 points, 16 points. They had a Dark Boss, Chromica, 6 Milos, giving them a total of 187. On the other side, we had Ark, Orbital, Chromica, Colossal Watcher, another Orbital, Pet Score, Orbital, and a Maximon had hit against them, giving them a total of 264. Final score after double checking. VOX on the road, 2551. Ark, 2506. VOX pulling out the victory on the road by less than 50 points in tonight's upset. Watchtowers and DZ, Angel of Darkness, all the bonus points coming through, and coming through in a big, big way tonight. So, congratulations, both teams. Epic game. Good to be back doing Faction Wars. And it is anybody's league. VOX pulling one step closer to Ark. Ark still with the lead, but a 1-game difference between the two teams. So what a match. Great job, everybody playing. And we'll be back doing this again next week. It's just great to have everybody back. Speed was a factor. Certainly, the game flow, the gameplay, a little slower than normal. And again, like we said last night, who knows what happens to these games if we get all the way through them. There's some points left on the board, certainly by both teams. All right, you guys have a great night. I enjoyed it. Appreciate you guys. Epic, epic battle. And we'll see you again tomorrow night. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.